Okay. I'm not late. You're late. Let's see. Alrighty. Let me get started up here real quick. And I need to update this. Here we go. Now update. Okay. I don't think I need to run that, but I'll run it again. I am setting some stuff up real quick for my project manager management thingy, because I've made some changes to it. I need to pull those in. run that. And then I just really want to seed that particular one. I don't need the others to run. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. This is all fine then. And let's see. Is 52. No. Why did I even think 52? It'd be 54. There we go. Wanted to make sure that that feature worked. So, alright, so this is basically what we have to do today. We have to get the save system implemented into the game instance. Right now, this was a pretty easy thing to do. And tangentially, as a part of this, which I don't think I actually created an issue for it, I created a save registry, and that is going to be, so basically this save game serializer that I'm using, I discovered that it didn't minimize the window for you guys. Here it goes. I basically discovered that, like, it's changed enough, like, in comparison to the documentation I have, and I don't know if that's because the documentation is intended for the latest versions of, like, Unreal, or as in, like, 5, or what the case is. But let me see if I can change it. The lighting looks like it's not none of that. Can I just adjust the screen coloration on this? Let's see. Dim incandescent. Well, you should be disabled right now. But you seem to not be, so... It's still, like, coloring this other monitor, which is strange. But I guess it doesn't affect the stream at all. Yeah, why is that one yellow and these others are not? Do I have... Hang on. Did it go in freaking... Okay, fine. Disable. There it goes. Now it's going away on that other screen too. I guess because that screen was off, it still looks warmer than the others. I don't need that. Okay. Let's see. And actually, I'm going to close those. And I'm going to move this guy over here. And get this here. There we go. That should be fine. Alright, oh, I have an ad break. Why does that still feel... It still feels like it's warmer. Interesting. Is that what... Oh God. I might make the stream angry. Okay, everything's fine. Alright. Kind of. Everything's gonna probably lag on me for a second. I think we're all right. All right. Yeah, I think everything's fine. It's really bugging me. The color on this monitor is different than the others, but they're literally identical monitors. So I don't know why it's so much more yellow than the others. I don't know if it's an angle thing. Oh, jeez. I saw the movement of the chat just before I heard the sound, but I wasn't prepared for what it was. I do a call and response with my button here, but I don't know that I remember which button it is. That one? I don't remember if that's the right one. Fart off? Oh god. That sounds like a bad idea. You know, I could probably go through some effort of labeling these buttons. I mean, they don't have screens on them. They're just physical buttons. But I actually think it's more funny that I don't remember which one it is. So then, as I build up sound effects, it'll just be more entertaining when I hit the wrong ones. You're just gonna keep doing that? Let's see. Manual prefix. So, load registry. You're at work lurking. Well, that I figured as much. Thank you for the lurk. Okay, so can probably, don't think we need to, but we can probably persist this into a variable. Because we could always call the load registry each time, but I really don't want to. So, and then not variable. Dang it. Need a function. Make slot instance by name. And for this guy, we need a slot name input. It's going to output a slot, but rather than try to find that in here, because I always think I have difficulty finding the savior stuff, the correct thing in there, I'll be able to just drag and drop it onto a return node. So I do new slot instance from savior. We can do our slot template. So it makes our file. We'll promote this to a local variable for now. Set slot. Oh, we gotta do it off this guy actually. Set slot file name. And we need to convert the name. And then at that point, we can just do a return node. And we're going to return the slot instance. So let's do this. Ah, shit. This is what I meant to do. Okay. Log an error. Function. Save to slot name. I want to make the actual name in a different function. So we need a couple of variables here. Slot name is one of them. And then we need a boolean for B is auto. And that determines if this is an autosave or not, since we use different name prefixes for those. And save. So if saving. Branch. If that's the case, we want to just go ahead and return because we don't want to like double up on saves. And at that point, we can set B is saving to true. Alright, so we can trigger the one we made before with this guy. Okay, let's make a local slot instance so we can keep using it. Save, save. Wow, it's contextual. Let's see. Ouch. And then ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Okay, slot name. It's true, auto. And then in case of both of these, we want to set this to false to say that we're done with it. Okay. Okay, for our autosave function, let's see. We get this guy and save to slot. Load from slot name. And this one, we want to take this same slot name variable that we've been dealing with here, find out if it has a save that exists and everything, and then bring it in. So we're specifically checking if we're loading. And if we are, we're going to return so that we shouldn't double up. In which case we will then set this to true. Make our slot instance by name. And then we can load the game world. And then in both cases, we want the error, and then we also want to set this to false. That stops any kind of looping. So we're gonna continue registry. This should be for like continuing save games. And in this particular case, this one's going to include a Boolean. It's going to output a Boolean. We need should be this guy. Get newest registry registry entry. Set the include auto. Branch this guy. False. We do that. On true. Set the latest slot name. And load from the slot name. And set started load to true. And then I'll check for any cached saves. Should let us sort of enable and disable the continue buttons and such as needed without having to call a bunch of different functions. In this case, we want to load the registry, make sure we're getting a fresh copy. Get entries. And has any saves. And we can just return this value. Okay. Okay. This, I'm going to kind of start this part over because I'm not happy with what I was doing here. So. All right, so what we have to do here, my intention is to have a list of potential manual save slots. There's not technically, a reason to limit it, but I want to, at least for consideration of like disk space, keep it to a narrow number. But I want it to be like known from the get-go when you start saving that you have these individual save slots. there's, the separate autosave slot, but I've kind of decided that the autosave, well, right now the system we're working on has autosaving and manual saving, which are both going to be in the game, but in the regular difficulty settings of the game and higher, all the saving will be done strictly through the save points, like most classic Resi games would be. And in fact, on the higher difficulties, you will also have a consumable item that you need in order to do the saving. But on the lower difficulties, I'm planning to, part of this I'm going to have in there mostly for testing purposes, but I think for the lower difficulties, I'm going to leave in or enable the ability to have auto-saving, but then on like the lowest difficulty, also it will be set up to where you can just save whenever, pretty much. And that way they're more of like accessible, and I might consider like a dynamic difficulty, like a customizable difficulty where you can enable, because that could be considered a accessibility feature, technically speaking. At least that's my thought. So registry. All right, so we want for loop. Not for lip. Loop. I spell loop correctly. For loop. We want to start at 1. Otherwise it starts at 0. And in order to keep this customizable, we're going to do, which this is kind of what I already had here. We're going to set this max manual slots. And in our loop body, we want to make manual, or maybe it's just manual slot name. Slot name by, I don't know why I couldn't pull that up, but sure. Oh, because I was trying to get it off of the execution, which is not possible. So for this, we're gonna do our loop indexes here. This is here. These are all technically the same values, but I want it to be customizable, so if I change my mind for balancing purposes, I can just change it in the variables. I don't have to go hunting. And then I'm going to do a make p save. I have to do it like this. Okay. We can do this. In this case, we're gonna actually leave it exists at false because there's no save in it. And the same is true with our ISO. We're not actually saving anything in here at this point in time. We just want it to exist. And this is based on our metadata that I've associated in this registry I created. And the registry is basically an array of save slots with some additional information associated to each, such as its save time, whether or not it actually has data in it, so that exists, and then what its name is. Because while it's in the documentation for this Savior serialization plugin, there are several functions that provide that information that don't seem to exist. And seemingly in some of the documentation pictures, there are fields for that kind of stuff, that metadata, in the save slot blueprint, and they're not there. So I kind of created my own thing here. So then we got our slave slot here, and then once it creates one of these, we need it to do a for loop, or for each loop rather, over entries, with a break, mind you. So execute. And then we want to check if this information matches, so that we can decide, do we need to add it in there? I'm about to have an ad break. In fact, we have one right now. Let's see. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay. So where was I? We need to compare these and see if the element name equals what we are trying to create. And boop and boop. If the branch is true, we're gonna set info. because in that case, it's already there. We don't want to create one. If we do not find a match, we want to add also, if it was true, we want to break this loop. So we add the slot. Actually, hang on. We're actually doing this to out slots. Let me promote this to a local variable. Once completed, okay. This should return our slot list. Let's see. I'm sitting here thinking because we looped through entries and info gets sent. We break here. So this setup would currently give us I think I know what I want to do. Because we want the slots no matter what. Whether they're empty or not. But do we actually want it to break? Yeah, because it found it. So then it would break there. Oh, wait a minute. Break. Completed. Add. Then completed. Yeah, that's what I was missing. That should actually do that correctly now. Because it builds the list of what to return here. It either says, hey, info is already in here, so take whatever information, i.e. time, exists, etc., the metadata, slap it in our variable, and then break, which would then add it here, or it loops through, can't find it, at which point it's completed without making any changes to this variable, and then our empty one still gets added here. And then once all of those are done, and it has gone through all of the indexes, it shits this out. So that's what we need. So what we need now is to implement some of this stuff. And let's see. Verify connection. Yes. Refresh. This guy. Slot. Continue. Registry. Oh. And now boom, comment right here. Shows what I did. I think at this point, I've added in a button to transition the issue, but I can actually do that in the editor. That may not have actually worked. Okay, so that didn't work. Is there a problem with the API? Nine seconds ago. Time summary. It gets. So it never actually posted that particular API when I did that. Okay, there's a bug to work out. That's fine. I'll do it from in here then. Okay. So. Alright, we can do this guy now, I think. Alright. So that taking a minute to load the tracker here. Okay, let's go back. Alright. This is what we want to work on now. And we want to control these guys with the new stuff. So this is a case of load registry. Yeah, we did that. We're checking the entries. We're getting the newest entry. We're outputting it here. That's good. But honestly, at this point, we should be able to narrow this down to just being continue from registry. Game instance. Might be a good idea to just get this guy at the beginning, cast him. Do that. And set the game instance. So then oh, wait a minute. I'm going to cast it to this game instance. and set it back. At which point we should be able to do continue from registry. No, we have to do it as the cast. I didn't think that was going to work. It won't cast it once and store it. That's fine. We'll cast it here. Continue from registry. I would say we should probably always include auto when we're using the continue button. Because even if there's not one, it should still work. And that goes ahead and loads the game world. So do that. And then we're going to need this more than once. Okay. Here, we should be able to use one of these. Let's do, because we're at this point trying to decide if we want to show the continue button, which requires a save of some kind. So in that case, we'll check the save cache, see if there's any save. And, oh wait. Putting this in the wrong place. That was my mistake. We need this one. Set. Okay. And then this guy is specifically looking for manual saves, but it occurs to me that we should probably check if any saves is true first, because if there are no saves at all, there's no reason to check for manual saves, and that kind of saves us on an execution. So then that toggles these guys. And they toggle these guys. I do still need to set up a decision tree, basically, or a selection for loading specific saves, but that should handle the basics of the UI. Just so I can read that a little better. Change the song. I don't want that song. Let's see. Our next step, I think we're good for these and whether or not we show our save and load buttons on this screen. But we need to do basically the same thing for the in-game menu for our resume, or not our resume, for our load button. So yeah, so we want to decide in theory we could have the load button always there, but I do like the idea of disabling it if it is not if there are no saves. It's basically the way I'm thinking of doing it. I think that'll work. And then yeah, we can do a similar like toggle situation. In fact, we can probably just copy this guy. We'll have to change the variables, but we can probably do this. Load button. Saves us a little trouble. And then by default, And then of course, we'll be able to hide the save option on the difficulties where we're using manual save locations. But I think it's important for testing purposes that we have our what's the word I'm looking for? We have the ability to save and load on the fly. I want to do this again. On here. There we go. And I want that. Because I believe in here I have, yeah, load from slot name. So we want cast it to our game instance. Then we can do load from slot name. So in this case, we need to let's see. A selected slot, probably promote this to a variable. And what we'll have to do this logic actually won't even stay here because we need this to actually open up the selection screen. But we don't have that right now, so. We need to make a slot selection screen. Something that can open here on both these guys. but to have an ad break. My back's been really sore lately. It's not ideal. Alright. We've got about 50 seconds on the ad. So. Okay, ad break should be over now. Cool. So what we need to do is get a widget in here. And so what I'm gonna do is something similar to here, I believe, is what I'm looking for. This guy. Yeah, because then, like, I mean, it's going to do one of these where it opens up on top. I think that's going to be the best way to do that. That also makes it where it's a reusable element, which means it needs to ultimately go into this guy, because this has it didn't change anything on that, did I? No, it just like freaked out on me. Those are just screen elements, apparently. This has the options menu that can come up, and then like a decision tree, hides the loading screen, that kind of thing. So this guy is frequently visible, and all that's really happening in here is determining what to use here. It's these guys. Navigates to the default menu. Intro gets collapsed. Main menu gets loaded. Just like that. So we do want to do something similar to that. So our container is this guy, right? No, it's in game. I'm having a brain fart. Yeah, this is our container. So it needs to probably, I think, go inside one of these. Or go inside this, similar to one of these, and be a tree that can be hidden. Because like if you hit options, you're going to open up this guy. That's handled here with this options button. If I click the options button, it goes into the main widget and shows this, but it also stores the previous menu so that you can come back to it. So I think that's what we need to do. The trick, though, man, there may not end up really being a trick to it now that I think about it. So we don't really need an extravagant screen, as it were. In fact, we probably are going to be looking more at one of these guys. One of these settings widgets. So really we should probably be looking at one of these guys. So we need now, I think, I could be mistaken. What I think, let me see, what is this? It parents off of this guy. Interactable menu widget. I'm gonna call this for reference. This guy, and this is gonna be save. I guess we'll, I wonder if it could almost probably be the same UI. I think. Save, load, menu, widget. because I'm thinking in the back of my mind, and I'm like, I can probably do this as a single widget that gets reused. Or a single widget that has two different windows in it, one for saving, one for loading. And then they're just loaded depending on which thing it is you're doing. I think that it could go either way with that. I'm trying to think of which way makes the most sense. I want to copy most of this. In fact, what I may do, this will copy everything in it, but then we can remove this and these. We don't need a reset button for this. Might just make them two separate screens, to be honest. They'll be effectively the same, but like... it's bound right now, so we don't want that. Actually. Yeah, that should be fine. That keeps it localizable. And then we don't really need this to be two separate well, I guess the scroll box could be in one. And then, like, information about the selected save could be in the other. That actually might work. I still gotta do some stuff with this to like handle this dynamically, because I don't like this, but it's working for now. Okay. in here, we probably need a like scroll box would be my guess. Scroll box. Arbitrary. Menu scroll box. Phil. What are you from? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Making sure I wasn't loading it out of a plugin or something. Okay, so we got a scroll box. And then to be honest, we probably need like a separate sort of template row item that it could use. Let's see. I'd like to have this be a little bit bigger. Yeah. So yeah, I think inside it we would almost need a widget element for when the slot is empty, and then a different one for when it has a save on it, I think. So interactable user widget. I'm gonna call this guy W. Save slot empty. Let's see. Yeah, should be fine. Cool. Okay, so how big do we really need this element to be? I say we set overlay and then do a background blur. We can make this guy fit the full size of the slot. Not blue, blur. Might work. Probably just go ahead and clear that. I'll deal with getting one for that. Yeah. And then a horizontal box. Also fits the full size. Don't need it to be hit testable. We do want a border. I don't know if I want a common border though. Probably fine. I don't really have a border style, so maybe we'll just do this instead. It should just be black, but I just want to make sure I have the exact same value there. And this probably be set to desired. Okay, and then let's do text. We want what font did it use for default 16? Probably won't be this big. Set that there. Here's the self-fit non-testable. There it is. Maybe we can just make this 100 by like 25. Yeah, that's probably sized better. Yeah, this should be all right. Trying to get it to where I think it won't be like super ridiculously sized. Then presumably, and these will have to be put in here dynamically, but just as a test. They'll look something like that. Just want to put a couple of these in here. I think what I can do is I can set it up on load to actually purge the list. So these can be in here mostly for dummy positions. Oops. That should make where these would look about like that. Maybe I need to be more like that then. Okay. I guess the padding of this guy technically makes it where maybe then what we needed to do is that. I was just hoping to have that text centered there. Doesn't really matter. It's more of a personal preference than anything else. So, because I'm pretty sure, let's see. I take this, can I... Yeah, I could start it off by clearing all of the children from it, and then creating them dynamically. Actually then means that in this particular case, we don't want those to be variables. I can't do them at all. Can I do them all at once? Yeah, we don't want those to be variables. Because we're not going to do anything with them. We're going to replace them at runtime. In this guy, I would say we probably only really need to do one thing. Which is have a ID value. It's just going to be an integer. And oh, taking an ad break. Ugh. Let's see. Alright, I think we are back from ads. Yes. We should be back from ads. Okay. So for this guy, I think I should be able to do this. So I can store the save slot data in the variable. Set this. And actually, you know what? I might rework this thing, this slot, so that it can be the empty one or the one that shows information, and that way it is I'm not like having to basically have the same thing twice. Set this up. Excuse me. Integer. Two digits max. Crap. Undo. see. Oop. Oop. Cool. All right. And I think what I'm going to do is have basically what's currently here be either this or the slot profile, I guess would be what I might call it. Maybe I will up this thing to about double the height. Because if I'm expecting there to be more information in it than the slot, I should expect it to be taller. So the way to do this is how did this one go about doing it? Okay, so it just had a single image that, or set of fields that loaded in when things were necessary. So okay, so then the easiest way to do this might be to show them as maybe as overlays, like more than one overlay. Like put this here, right? Right now it's trying to share the space, but do this as and then we can do may have to do it like this. Oh god. Oh, why am I lagging? Oh god, it's awful. There we go. Because we don't want them in a horizontal box together, so we may have to put them inside another thing that we can like show and hide. Then our slot profile. Because I could have done this as like another widget, but that I don't want to. Trying to decide if I think the slot's big enough that there can be a thumbnail there. I don't think I will do a thumbnail there. What happened? It up too quickly. Hang on a second. I will be right back. Okay. I have returned. But although I have returned, I kind of need to wrap things up. It is getting pretty late. So normally I go for about another hour. Actually, no. I'm only about 20 minutes shy of my usual time. Let's... let's pay a visit to... I mean, we always tortured Zen. But let's maybe do... let's maybe do Warden. That might be an option. I gotta wrap it up, but Warden is streaming and he's a friend of the channel, so let's pay Warden a visit. And I will be live again on Thursday. Have a good night.